When it comes to movement, Super Mario 64 has an extremely diverse catalog of tools at your disposal. And for new players, this can be a bit overwhelming. Choosing which option to use and where can be tough sometimes, which can lead to a lot of, well, this. It is something we want to avoid at all costs as speedrunners, so allow me to break it down for you. The long jump is incredibly useful for starting up your momentum, and is used heavily throughout all categories, be it 0 star or 120 star. You're most likely going to see long jump used quite a bit. A long jump is performed when you are in motion and you press the Z and the A buttons in quick succession. The faster that these buttons are pressed, the more speed the long jump will conserve. Be careful though, because pressing A before Z will result in a ground pound, which kills all speed and leaves you looking like a total dumbass. You are able to chain multiple long jumps together by holding the Z button. While long jumps are nice, in a lot of areas you can find yourself flying right over or past where you initially intended to land. This is where dives come into the equation. Dives are short bursts of speed that can be performed by simply pressing the B button. However, you do need to be going fairly fast in order for the dive to work. After you perform a dive, then you will also need to perform a rollout. You can do this by pressing the A or B button. The earlier that you roll out after a dive, the more speed will be conserved from said dive. In order to conserve the most speed, you will need to press A or B in the first frame possible. That is usually called a dustless dive or rollout. Obviously, timing a single button press in 1/30th of a second seems a bit difficult, especially for new players, and you would be right. So in order to make this more consistent, what a lot of runners do is dive with a B press, and on the rollout, they will roll their thumb from A to B. This rapid input allows for 2 chances to get a dustless dive, rather than just 1. With some time and practice, getting dustless dives can become just part of the game to you. Okay, so we've covered long jumps, along with dives and rollouts. But even so, there's still something missing. So far we have only covered methods of covering distance horizontally, but what about vertical distance? Jump dives are very similar to regular dives, but as the name suggests, you add a jump to it by pressing A directly before B. Although to perform an optimal jump dive, you need to have a speed greater than that to perform a regular dive. Jump dives can be used to cover the same distance as a long jump, but slightly faster while adding more height. That is why a lot of the times you will see them following after the momentum of a long jump. While the dive is more suited for enclosed spaces, the jump dive, in contrast, is most effective in open spaces. The dive can also be paired with a double jump to generate more vertical distance, and going even further than that, to maximize the height, you can pair a dive with a triple jump. While this tool is not often used throughout the game, it is still a very valuable tool for runners, and I believe it should be used more. Now, putting all of these tools together, we can go from this to something more like this. Just remember that like anything, this is going to take time and practice to get good at. But knowing which option is best and then using it in any given scenario is an amazing skill to have while speedrunning this game. If this video was at all helpful to you, let me know down in the comments. And if you liked the video, then consider subscribing. Planning on uploading a lot more coming in the next few months, so hope to see you there. See ya.